welcome. This is my Thanksgiving edition of the video blog that I do. And guess what? It's almost Thanksgiving, and so I thought, well, we could go ahead and let's cook a turkey. What do you say? So I've got a lovely turkey here, but I hope that you've washed your turkey because, you know, according to my father, who raised poultry when he was a child, turkeys are dirty. So anyways, this turkey has been thawed, that's a good thing, and it also has been washed, so that looks good. But I like to cook my turkey in foil. It cooks faster, so I don't have to get up quite as early in the morning, and it also really juicy, and I love juicy turkeys. But that means we have to have the foil. Now, almost always the foil is never big enough for the turkey. So the first thing we got to do is pull out a bunch of foil, long piece. I always have to guess as to whether it's long enough. Usually I get it right, but you never know. And of course, you got to fold the foil together because otherwise your turkey juices are going to all come out. And of course you don't want that. So put them face to face, shiny side out, by the way. I don't know why, they just tell me to do that. And we're gonna just fold it over right here in the center. We're gonna fold it over twice. And that way we've got kind of a theme, you know, a seam, excuse me, not a theme. And we'll just fold that baby over like that. Oh, and by the way, while this is going on, you should be preheating your oven to 450 degrees because that's the temperature it needs to be. And usually at this point, my wife is making the stuffing because you want the stuffing to be fresh. But in this case, I already have the stuffing, so you'll have to just pretend that we're making the stuffing fresh. So now we've got this nice piece of foil. Now, the problem with the foil is that foil's also got to be buttered. Normally what I do when I butter my foil is there's a lot of butter in the dressing, and so there are usually a lot of wrappers laying around. And I don't like getting my hands all goopy, although it looks like I'm going to get them goopy here. Okay, and I will take the wrapper, and I'll just use the wrapper as kind of the way for me to just butter this up. Okay, it's a lot better than me just sticking my hands in there. Of course, I have a grandson. He's 18 months. He probably would really enjoy spreading this butter around with his hands, but I doubt that his mother would let him because we wouldn't want him eating the butter, which he would undoubtedly do. Okay, so now we got this all buttered up. That's great. And we're gonna take this roaster pan. I always use the roaster pan like this because then I don't have to wash it when I'm all done. I can just throw it away. Anything easier. And we put this in here. Okay. Now, so that's ready to go. But I always like to put the dressing in the turkey. All right, now there's two places we can put this dressing. We can put it where the neck is. Hopefully you've taken out the gizzards, the neck, and the, see, this is where the neck goes, right there. Anyways, we take that out. Now some people will take that gizzard and they'll take the liver and they'll take the neck and they will cook them. And then they will take the meat off of them or chop them up. And when they do that, they then put that in the dressing, which adds more flavor. I don't tend to do that. Everybody has their own dressing recipe. I know the latest one that we're using actually puts chicken and a pork chop in the dressing. This one looks like it's got cranberries in it, so that's good. Now, all right, so we kind of stuff that in there, and then we take this little cover. Now, normally, I take a toothpick and stick a toothpick through here to hold this in place. I don't know if we have any toothpicks, but if we don't, we'll just hold it down. It'll probably be okay. So, now we're going to take the turkey, and we're going to put the rest of the dressing inside the turkey. You know, it's interesting because they always tell you to loosely stuff it. I don't usually loosely stuff it. I just pack it in there because everybody likes dressing. I don't know about you, but I like dressing. I don't even know why we serve potatoes and dressing. I just soon have dressing. But anyways, that's the way it goes. And then I get tired of the spoon, so then I just use my hands. Because, of course, I've washed them, so my hands are doing fine. Looks like we've got enough dressing here, maybe. Looks like we're going to be able to use it all. Usually I make so much dressing that we end up having to cook some without the turkey, which is, it's okay, but it's not nearly as good as when it has turkey juices in it. Okay, so there we go. We could do with a little more, but this is good. This is good to start with. Okay, let me see. I'd like to put that together a little tighter, but I think that'll be fine. Okay, now I also like to just put a little bit of butter on the turkey. Of course, there is already butter on this thing over here, but you never could have too much butter, right, on a turkey? Now, if you happen to have the little string that they give you with this little packet in your turkey, you can use that to make a lifter. You just lay it under lengthwise, and then it's got two loops, and the loops come over here and they come up here, and you can just lift it out when you're done. Either that, or you buy a turkey lifter. If you don't have either one, you'll just end up getting two forks probably and putting them in here. Now, one of the other things that we do is we take a little bit of foil, and we're gonna just take it just a little bit, and we're going to put it right over the tips of these wings so that the tips of the wings don't poke through the foil as it's cooking. See, there. Looks like a little wing guard, doesn't it? Okay, well, this is how we go. Okay, so now we've got those on there. We're ready to put the turkey in the bag, in the tray. So we just lift it up. Now remember, you got this dressing on the bottom too. We're gonna stick it right here. There we go. And we're gonna take this, and we're gonna, now when we tighten this up, we just want to do this kind of loosely. It doesn't want to be real tight, okay? So, but we're gonna have to do the ends here. This end's good. Sometimes you don't really have enough foil, which it looks like we're a little short of foil there. So I'm just going to get a little piece and stick it there. And usually when I get foil, I get the extra long version. And by getting the extra wide version, I mean, when you get the extra wide version, you don't have this little issue here. But that's okay. You know, you just take this piece. I'm not even worried about buttering it because it's really not going to touch the turkey. And that'll be fine. There we go. That'll be fine. Okay. All right, and you just kind of flatten it just a little so you can get into the oven. Now, hopefully you've taken the tray in your oven and put it at its lowest position so that the whole turkey fits in there. So, I think we're ready to put this in the oven. This is always the, no, we're not down to our lowest tray. Well, I think it'll fit. Okay, well, we'll find out. So we're going to take the turkey, hold it by the bottom, and we're going to just slide that baby in there. And there we go. And we're going to close her up, and we're going to set the timer. Now, it'll tell you how in the cookbook. What is this? It looks like it's about a 14-pound turkey. So this is only going to take 3.5 to 4 hours. So that's good. We're going to be able to eat right around 2 o'clock. Now, before it gets to that time, probably about 45 minutes before you get to that time, you want to open it up. You want to undo the foil at the top and then just let it lay over, because that'll get the breast nice and brown. It'll look perfect. And then you can just test it with a fork, the meat in between the leg and the breast. And that fork should just slide in really easily and really easily out. If it does that, let's cook it those other 45 minutes. Test it again with your fork. I don't even use a thermometer, and bring that turkey out. And when you do, boy, does it look good and it smells good. You're going to be able to lift that right out, take off the foil, and have the nicest, juiciest turkey you've ever had. Let's see how we're doing here with this turkey. It should be about done. We've already rolled down the foil in order to make the breast nice and brown. Let's see here. Make sure you've got a place to put the turkey before you start walking around with it. Let's see what we got. Ooh, look at that turkey. Oh boy, whew. That looks good. We're gonna just check the, yeah, oh, nice and tender there between the legs. Okay. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that there's a lot of grease or juice in there. That juice, that's delicious juice. So we're gonna put this over here. Now, what you want to do with this juice, be careful. You don't want to throw it away, because you're going to use it to make your gravy. All right, so we use our string, if we had a string, and we're going to pull this turkey out. Let's see if we can get it out. There we go. We're going to put it on this tray here. That way, you're going to be able to just take the foil off, let it sit for a while, and then we're going to cut it. Wow, boy, this turkey looks good. If you want to make a turkey like this, come on over to NWTC. Start in our new culinary program, and you'll learn not only how to make a turkey like this, but a lot of delicious foods and baked goods, and even pick up a few tips on how to run your own restaurant. And someday, not only will you be a chef, you may own your own bake shop or your own restaurant. Have a great Thanksgiving.